Welcome.
Well, as employers put in place COVID-19 vaccine mandates, some companies are seeing resistance from employees and unions as well. Here to talk with us about the legality of these requirements is Arlene Yang, Principal of Labor and Employment Practice Group, Meyers, Nave. Arlene, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about this, because of course this is being felt across the entire country, and it sort of feels like it's a difficult position for employees, of course, but employers as well in many cases.
Right. So employers know that to protect your workers, it's helpful to have employees who have vaccines, wearing masks, social distancing, good ventilation, all those things that we've heard about. And so some employers have required that their employees get mandated vaccines or getting regular testing, or sometimes just vaccines and not able to have testing.
Certainly something that employers are thinking about, and employees are trying to make the best decision for themselves. In terms of legal action that's taking place from both sides, I guess, what are you seeing both here in San Diego and what are you seeing across the country as well?
Well, we've had some interesting news recently. Just last week, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration for the federal government released this emergency temporary standard, which was going to require employers with 100 or more employees to have all of their employees either be vaccinated or have weekly testing for COVID. And immediately we saw lawsuits to try to stop that. And so right now there's a temporary stay, and the rule is not likely to be enforced in time. The deadline to have that vaccination was January 4th, 2022.
What in your mind is so problematic about that particular mandate in particular? Why do you think it's drawing so much attention in terms of these different lawsuits?
Well, we know that in many parts of the country, the leaders in the government are opposed to having vaccine mandates. So those states that are less protective of the vaccine immediately tried to sue to stop it. But here in California, we're in a different situation because we already do have some mandates for vaccines. For example, for healthcare workers, they must be vaccinated. Also, school teachers have to be vaccinated or tested regularly. So this kind of litigation is going to be a little bit of a less impact in California.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask, I mean, here in California, do you feel like the law is on the side of the companies, or does it really lean more towards the workers? Which one?
Well, generally in California, the laws lean towards the workers. In this case, it's leaning towards the workers who are interested in protecting their health. And so it's much more protective of requiring masking, requiring safety measures to ensure that we're not going to have exposures in the workplace. So going forward, I mean, where do you sort of see all of this sort of coming out? Because certainly we're watching this day by day. These mandates, they come through, they change, they go through different processes. How do you feel like the future is going to go in terms of trying to get these mandates put into place or taken away? Well, I think, as we've seen just with COVID this whole time, things are going to be changing. And so employers, especially that we counsel, we have to constantly going back to them and giving them advice. I think that, there is concern. You're looking and seeing what's happening in Europe, and they're already starting to have another wave of disease. And so I think that employers are going to want to keep, be mindful of that and see what can be done to encourage more vaccination and to avoid, a massive outbreak again here in San Diego.
Arlene, we sure appreciate your time. Thanks for coming on a Saturday night and giving us your perspective. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you.